Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Happy Lunchtime Live. Hi, Ann. Oh, yes, look at those. Love that you're here and joining us for today's Lunchtime Live. Sound check would be great. How do I sound? Hi, Mark. Nice to see you as always. And I'm gonna flip around and say hello in just a minute. But how's the sound? How's the sound, everybody? Those that are here. Awesome. Thank you for that. We've got, as usual, 3 or so helicopters, doing their training. I'm out here by, thank you guys for the feedback. I love it. Out here at the weather station, just outside the visitor center. You can see it behind me. And flip around. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Give you guys, I don't know if you guys know where the weather station is, but let me crank this. Ay. Ooh, can I crank it all the way? Ooh, there. So you got a little wind. Not too bad. Little wind. And a gray sky for today's Lunchtime Live, roaming the Riparian. So I'm also very close to the Riparian. Let me, I'll get this up. Right there's that Riparian area where the willows and the cottonwoods are, where we looked at those sawfly gulls. But today, we're gonna roam the Riparian. We're gonna start here for the Spiny Rush. Spiny Rush. There it is, the Spiny Rush. Now, there are several in this area. Let's see, let's move this around a little bit. Some of you may know what a rush is. This is a plant, Spiny Rush, definitely. Thank you. I love having locals. Awesome. And our audience. We love Spiny. I love Spiny Rush. Because it's just this very unique, very distinct plant. Kind of fountain-like, kind of hedgehog-like. We'll talk. Yes, rushes have ridges. But this, well, we're gonna get the macro out. But first, just an overall view. Here we are, the Spiny Rush. My favorite thing about Spiny Rush is its scientific name, Juncus acutus. Juncus acutus. That's what I'm used to calling. I don't really call it Spiny Rush. I'm getting used to calling that for this particular program, Juncus acutus, and Spiny Rush is something we see here outside the visitor center. I'm off trail right now by the weather station. However, we are going to roam around. And you can see this is a plant that kind of emerges from the center, where leaves and stems emerge from the center in this kind of almost pincushion hedgehog sort of fountain type shape, sort of rounded, might use the word mounding, getting fairly large, 3, 4, 5 feet both directions. Okay, and this isn't really the time of year to see it in its most attractive state, but it's out here. It's something I've been wanting to share with you, and let's get the phone down and take a look at the Juncus acutus. So this is basically like in the grass. It's like a grass, shrub-like grass. Okay, let's see. Apologies, trying to get my settings here. Let's get this off of here and get up close to the spiny rush. Now we're gonna have to be a little bit careful because that name, spiny rush, isn't just there's a reason for it. So as you can see, a lot of these stems and leaves are brown. So this is a perennial species, although not really evergreen. You can see there's a lot of dead plant material. So I'm gonna get up a little bit close, and feel free if you have questions about spiny rush, Juncus acutus. It is no joke. Don't get a poke. That's exactly right. So I'm trying to be careful and notice all of these leaves and stems that are pointed towards me so that I can bring the spiny rush closer to you. So let's take a look, and I will get the macro on in just a minute. First, as you can see, it's a very smooth plant, very smooth, very rounded. So although rushes have ridges, this really isn't a rush, I suppose. Okay, very smooth, rounded, green, kind of that gray-green color when the leaves and stems are alive. Gray-green color, and then as they die, they get this gray-like colorless appearance. And as they're in between, we get this kind of calico-like pattern as it starts to die. Okay, stems and leaves, how do you tell them apart? Well, in Juncus acutus, stems and leaves are almost basically the same. However, leaves have, and I'll just show you this one, that pointed end. So they kind of terminate with this very sharp point. Let's see. Ooh, this is tricky. Okay, let's see. The very sharp point. Ouch. But stems terminate in flower heads, clusters. Okay, and here we see these old, what might be called capsules, which are the seeds, flower heads, and seed clusters. And I guess when the seeds are new, they have a little tail to them. But this is not the season. This is a plant that flowers, I believe May or June. Now, this is a plant found in California, Arizona, Nevada, kind of in native to those areas, ecologically beneficial, preferred, however you like to say it, but introduced to Australia, where it has become quite a problem. So native species here, found in this area at the Tijuana estuary in our Riparian area, right around the visitor center. However, for those of you who are familiar with more remote areas of the Tijuana estuary, it is also found near what we call our brackish ponds. I just want to show you, there's another individual over there. Look at that one. A lot of old seed clusters, heads. Found near our brackish ponds in quite a stand, meaning many individuals in that area. And it wasn't an area that I felt like I could do a lunchtime live. I don't know what the service is like down there. It's extremely noisy under the helicopters, directly under the helicopters. But there's so many of them there. And that area is not saline. I mean, not fresh. It's not a riparian area. It is an area with a lot of groundwater and a lot of saline concentration. So Juncus acutus, found in all sorts of soil types, does really well in all sorts of soil types as long as there is moisture. Okay, now I have the macro on. Let's see. Of course, we don't have any sunlight today to really get close. I mean, get that light, correct lighting on the Juncus acutus in the way I would like to. Maybe we can look at seed capsules a little better. Very frustrating. So, there we go. Ooh, haha. That's what I'm talking about. Flowers and seeds. Yeah, so there are a few moth species I read. So, you know, what is attracted, what animals are attracted to Juncus acutus. So you can imagine it's not something that's going to get grazed. However, there are 2 or 3 moth species. It's not confirmed that are likely. This plant is some sort of food source for them. Might deter swooping attacks from hawks, kites, and harriers. There. Oops. There we go. All right, I've got the macro back in. So this might be, yeah, if you were to some sort of prey item hiding kind of underneath these, because as they are quite tall, and the pointed part is not, you know, is the terminal end, the end point of these. You could be relatively safe from a swooping predator. Great, you know, great thinking there. Great thinking. Now, just trying to zoom in on, let's see, here we go. Some macro. Can you see how smooth that is? Smooth, no scent. Green, firm, almost like hard spaghetti. All right, almost like hard spaghetti. Really smooth texture in that green. That's a leaf. We see that point. There, that macro is finally working. Or maybe it's the camera. I was able to get that focus. So there's that point. It's so pointy, so sharp. You know, not something a lot of people like to plant because it does need to stay wet, but it can go in all kinds of soil. Saline, fresh water. Probably, you know, not anything too rich in nutrients. It does well. So, like I said, in Australia, it's actually been naturalized in somewhat of a, I guess, a nuisance. It's a little out of control there, and you can imagine when this takes over, it's hard to even manage it because it's so sharp and so pokey. So, would you imagine how this might have been used or still used by native people like Kumeyaay? This is an important resource plant for them. Okay. Anybody that's into basketry, Native American basketry, may even have a Juncus basket. So imagine drying these and splitting these. These would be great long fibers for weaving. Exactly, Bob. Basket weaving. And Juncus baskets can be woven so tightly that they will hold water. And it's just, they're so smooth. Can be so tightly woven because of that smooth texture, not really causing any space between when pushed, when woven together, that it can hold water, right? But you got to be careful. get that basket weaving. So there we are, the Juncus acutus. And what I want to do is just walk through the riparian area with you guys, show you where we have a bunch of more of these. So when I say riparian, what do I mean? What do I mean by riparian? What do I mean by riparian? So I'll just kind of get in here real quick and take it. You guys can notice, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like a small drainage ditch in here. Okay, and there's the other one there. For those of you who know where I am, I've been here before. I'm right outside the visitor center to the west, overlooking the marsh. There's sort of that main trail, Seacoast Drive over there. I'm here by the weather station, elevated above the marsh. So I'm in, above the marsh, but in this little drainage area. So riparian means swampy. Well, not exactly, but definitely swamps and riparian areas have something in common, and that is fresh water. So let us take a walk along the riparian area. I'm gonna get it back on the tripod here. Right over there, we'll go over there, we'll head over to those willow trees. And the willow trees only exist there because of water, fresh water, that's allowed to go through there. And it has established those willow trees. So let's do a little bit of walking. Okay, and there's the visitor center, Tijuana River National Estuarine Research Reserve Visitor Center, which is currently closed. However, our trails are open. By the way, parking lots and restrooms are open again. And we'll get back out here on the trail and let's take a look at this riparian area. So I'm doing my best to try to walk, without jostling too much. And our riparian area has been thinned out, which is nice. It allows us to see through, and we're at the time of the year we have a lot of deciduous vegetation here. So these willow trees have dropped a lot of their leaves, and look at that, there is our Juncus acutus right there. And I don't know if you guys can see, but see that drainage? That allows fresh water runoff from the street during rain events, allowing water to come in here and support this small riparian ecosystem. And there it is, Juncus acutus. Juncus acutus. And on the other side of the bridge, Juncus acutus. Okay, Juncus acutus. I just love saying that, Juncus acutus. And then the ditch continues, and there's our weather station and the couple of individuals that I was standing by over there. Now I want to keep continuing through the riparian area, because these Juncus acutus, these particular ones, they're kind of at the end of their, they're in the middle of their sort of dormancy stage, where they're really, shut down. But there's something happening at the other end of the riparian area. So we'll take our little walk through here. And by the way, when I came out here before the program, out there on those wooden posts overlooking the marsh, I counted 20 egrets. And I see 2 left now, but there were 20 out here. It was really cool. They're bright white. So let's see. The willows, they've gone a little dormant. They've dropped their leaves for the winter, as they do, allowing sort of a better view through here. Making room for new foliage in the spring. And you see that drainage continues. And I don't know if you guys can see that. See it popping up there? Some little young Juncus acutus. Just the cutest. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I've noticed even more. So, I think through the thinning of these trees and recent rains, we have more Juncus acutus emerging. And they really are just the cutest. I just love saying that. Juncus acutus is the cutest. Great way to remember the name. And just want to get us right over here. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this area, and this bridge, but now you are. And there, Juncus acutus. Let's get off the trail. I can get down and look at these a little better. All right, so baby Juncus acutus down here in the riparian zone. Let's get down. Let's take a look at these Juncus acutus. So we can see as they start to emerge, see how green they are. Green like spaghetti, hard spaghetti strands just right out of the package. But with those terminal, very spiky points there. They are just the cutest. So here we have our small, see how small they are? Well, obviously they start out small, but we can see how big they get. Juncus acutus. So nice and manageable when they're small. If you're thinking about something like this, I really like them because they're sort of very clean looking, very simple form, very clean. But those spikes, if you've ever had something like this in a yard, it's not a lot of fun when you're trying to do yard work and having to watch out for that. So, yeah, these are babies. They look almost like onion, right? Almost like onion, that onion grass. But these are the Juncus acutus, the spiny rush. Okay. All right. All right, well, there you go. Very distinct species here at the Tijuana Estuary, found, like I said, in different soil types, but as long as there's water. So if there's water, and you see there's a bridge, so this is an area with water and where we have the most Juncus acutus available to the public, close to the visitor center. And then down by the brackish ponds, there are, like the big one by the weather station, there are so many. It's like a field of Juncus acutus down there next to those ponds. Pretty amazing to see. Definitely not something you would, well, they're off trail, but not anything you could really walk through. So, well, there's another edition of Lunchtime Live. It's been wonderful. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. I said it's a nice day down here. A little cloudy, but we're expecting it to change, and a little rain at the end of the week. So a little more fresh water for these little Juncus acutus babies. So anyway, thank you so much. It's been wonderful. I will see you again. We are starting, believe next week, you know, remember Robin will be sharing Lunchtime Live as well. So you'll look for her, and we're happy, you know, happy February, and we will see you guys next Tuesday for Lunchtime Live. And if you have any suggestions, any for future topics, I get a few every now and then, but feel free to type them in the comments. We love hearing what interests our audience. So, okay, everyone, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.